I met Keith because Keith's band, the band Keith was in, that was actually my father-in-law. Now my father-in-law's band, Jamila, and Keith was the lead singer. And back then, my father-in-law, Larry Peoples, he came to me and he was like, Jack, I want you to meet somebody. And he came to a gig that I was at, and he was like, I want you to meet somebody. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And he said, this is one of the lead singers in our band. And he said, this is Keith Sweat. And I was like, what's up? How you doing? And he was like, hey, baby, and he said he can hear me sing. And then after the show, he was like, well, I'm in the studio. I'm working on a record, but it's a single right now. It was just a single deal. He said, but I want you to come to the studio. Now, yeah. He was definitely trying to grin, but nobody was paying attention to none of that. So, we had phones back then. It wasn't it wasn't the beeper didn't even start yet. So, because this was like 80, this is what, 87, right? 86. So the beeper didn't start yet. So he calling my phone, my house phone, I want you to come to the studio. So it was a month that went past. I finally said, you know what? Let me go to the studio and see what this is about, So I get to the studio and Teddy's there. And I'm like, what you doing here? And he's like, what you doing here? So he said, I'm working on the project. Right. I'm going to produce the record. And I was like, oh, okay, that's dope, So we did Don't Stop Your Love. So that was the first one. And then we did I think we did I Wanna Next, but the tracks were so freaking banging. I was like, yo, this is gonna be crazy, because it went from a single deal to an album deal.
Yeah, so, those are classic joints. I mean, all of them.
What? When the record label heard even Don't Stop Your Love, and they hear the track, and they like, do do. They like, yo, wait a minute. Him and Teddy about to do a whole album. So now it's the album deal. Now it's the album stuff. So now we're working on the record, and they got to, okay, we got a duet. So they called another girl, another friend of mine, Vivian Sessom, that's my girl. And
no, Vivian, I know, but was she still your girl after this story?
You know what?
That's what I want to know.
Vivian probably still wanted to stab me in the eye or something, because Vivian was in the band with Keith and them too. Like, she sung off and on with them. Okay. So Vivian was Keith's friend, but I knew her because I knew her from singing, doing the circuit and stuff. And Vivian was my girl. She was always cool with me. We were always cool. And I love you, Vivian, to this day.
But still, they asked Jacci to sing first.
Yeah, they did.
That was the problem. Or the winning, or the historic moment that we all get to live in every time we play that song. Talk about going into that booth and like, where did Vivian go after they did
Well, what happened was,
I'm sorry. I know you guys. I'm interrupting the story. So they called in another singer, Vivian, who used to sing with them. And then what happened? Carry on, Jacci.
So they told me to come first. Well, Vincent Davis, Vincentainment, that's who Keith was signed to. Vincent said, I want Jacci to go first. Because Vincent was already a Jacci fan. So he was like, I want Jacci to go first. Keith wanted Vivian to go first because that's his homie, and I get that. Vince said, no, I want Jacci to go first. Teddy just like, I ain't saying nothing. So, and then I come in, and now we're working on Make It Last. And Teddy's like, Jacci, because he knows my voice. So now he's like, Jacci, I need you to sing this. Do the ooh, oh. And I was like, okay, I got it. And then, I just went in and I started just singing. And it wasn't like me and Keith were in there singing together and we was in love and we holding hands and we rocking this duet. It was nothing like that. I just went in and did, I was 20 years old. I went in and did what I knew how to do naturally, and with Teddy guiding my vocals, and then Keith saying, okay, I need you to do this, and let's go back and forth on this part and whatever. Mm-hmm. And we created magic, but I didn't know it was magic at the time.
But Jacci, that's what makes it magic. That's what makes it magic, because you don't know. You don't know. And the crazy part was, I was like,
this is the worst. I was like, the track is killer, right? Yeah. I was all about the track. Like, the track is dope, banging.
Yeah. But tell everybody who you thought Keith sounded like. What's his name? Steve.
Keith. I thought Keith sounded just like Steve Arrington. And I love Steve Arrington, because we like walking down the town, baby, walking down the street, watching late. That was my joint. So when I heard Keith's voice, I'm like, okay, he's like a Steve Arrington. Okay, a duet. And to be honest, I still did not know how the record would come out. And it was, the one thing I have to give Keith is a phenomenal writer. He's a phenomenal arranger. Mm-hmm. And even production wise, he knows what he wants. And that's what I do love about him. And that I learned from Keith and Teddy, I learned my bumping parts from Teddy. I know them bumping tracks anywhere.
Yeah.
But I learned, the melodic and the melodic part of writing and hearing something that's dope. And then putting your little whiny stuff in there to make it rock. That's what I love about Keith. Mm-hmm. He made that. One of my favorite songs that he did was I Will Give All My Love to You. I love that song. I love that song. And like I said, I didn't know anything was going to hit, no nothing. So the first single was Don't Stop Your Love. Mm-hmm. We had the video for it. It was, popping. The record started doing really well. The second single was I Wanna, but let me tell you, the album went gold in like 2 seconds. And then 3 months later, it was platinum. So,
and that's back before the internet.
Yep. Before the internet, we were out on the road, grinding hard, doing city to city every night, 6 days a week, different city. And we started off in like clubs, atmospheres first, and we were only in there for 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. We went from clubs to theaters to arenas.
Wow.
And like that. I mean, and we were, the tours that we had from the beginning were really, really good tours. Like we did a tour with, we had Slam, it was called Slam in 88, I think. That was with Salt and Pepper, Keith Sweat, Heavy D and the Boys, and Rob Bass. Mm-hmm. That was a dope tour.
It sounds like nothing but fun. I want to go see that show now.
My God. I want to go see that show now. Exactly. Right. If we could put them back together, that'd be crazy. Most High Rest, Heavy D Soul.
But you know what I hate about the popularity of it all is that you guys didn't get to make a video for Make It Last Forever. Yeah. And the problem I have with that, for me personally, I don't know about everybody else, is that I lived in a town with no black radio. So the only way I was going to see, black artists and hear them is through television. And so the fact that you didn't have a video, I knew the song, but I didn't know who Jacci was.
Right. A lot of people still don't know who Jacci is. And the crazy thing is, even after me coming out with my own album and having my videos, there's people that, that were fans of my record and whatever, but they know me when I got my braids and my hair shaved off, that's like, oh, okay, that's Jacci McGhee or whatever from our old school people would know. But people don't know because they don't know my face. And I had so many different, part of it is my fault too. And I have to be honest. First of all, we didn't have a video. And that was only because of us being on the road. So we were able to we were able to kill it in every city that it made the record go platinum, and then it went double platinum. So it was us just working on the road. But when finally later, when my record came out in 92, I didn't make it no better because I still do it to this day. I have 20,000 different looks. I love wigs. I've been wearing different color wigs and my hair shaved off and braids in the middle and all kind of stuff forever.
Isn't that called style? Isn't that called being an artist?
But they didn't know what to do with me back then. I was too much. But
I think that if there was because that song is so iconic, if there was just a video with you and Keith, like you would forever be associated, no matter how your look changed, with that song. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have black radio, so I was late coming to the party when I went to school, college in Atlanta. You know, then I got to hear all the, you know, the Bridge Is Over and, you know, Make It Last Forever. But I didn't know it was you.
Right.
You know? And that's a problem. So all these years singing along to something that you made fire, like Keith. Thank you, what you said, like with Keith, he definitely give Keith his credit, because like I'm gonna always sing Keith's part because I can sing along. Right. With Keith. Right. Yeah, we gonna do it. I'm like, go ahead, Jackie, you take it. So I love Keith. He made me feel like I could sing. So But what I'm saying is that like it wouldn't have been what it was without you, without that fire. And so to have all these years and you be part of the reason why like people say that is one of the best songs ever made, and people not know that you're part of that, like that's a travesty.
You know what? It really used to bother me so much. I would cry because I'm like, nobody knows who I am. And I used to cry all the time because I'm like, Father, I don't understand my, you know, my whole journey. Even though, I'm always ready to cry because I'm a crybaby. Even though I wasn't able, and still I can't say I wasn't able because the Most High has me doing something else right now, and I'll tell you about that. But just because I wasn't able to be seen and heard, I mean, I was heard, but I wasn't able to be seen through that. It bothered me and I cried, but it doesn't mean that people won't know me later. I only say that because it hurt me so bad that people would say, oh, you know, you're a one-hit wonder and this and this and that. And I'm like, well, I didn't have one hit. Can I say I had two? But, you know, and that's double platinum.
Double platinum.
Not just gold.
And to me, you weren't like a period on a sentence. You was part of what made the sentence pop.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
I'm grateful for.
I mean, so the reason that to me, both songs, and we'll get to the Salt and Pepper thing, pop is because Jacci McGhee was on it. And I don't know which is worse, like, because, you know, when I interviewed Martha Wash and you know how they put the CNC Factory, they had the little chocolate thin girl mimicking her. And so she was heard as well, but not sung. You know, so I don't know which one is worse, yours or hers, but it ain't right. It's
not right. And you know what? Because I love me some Martha Wash, and I understood how she felt as being 2 Tons of Fun to the Weather Girls to Martha Wash. You know what I'm saying? I know all their songs and follow them. And I know because it was always a thing about how we look, you know. And so because they were, you know, heavier, then that means they didn't fit in and they weren't pretty. But see, now, if she came out now, it would be a whole different thing, because now you have, you know, people walking around butt naked, you know, heavy set.
Right.
So
and listen, applauded for it.
You applauded. And I'm sitting up there talking about, do you have a thong on? Sit down. Okay.
I know.
I'm like, I want you to love your body too, but do we have to? Where you sitting at? You be like, where you sitting at? I just make sure I'm not gonna sit behind you, because I don't know what your JJ smell like, and I sure don't know what your butt smell like.
You got jokes, y'all. Jackie got jokes.